And we are live, Coffee Chat with Emily, third week in a row. And we've got some stories. So first of all, sorry, not sorry that we are 2 minutes late because we had some technical glitches, but we believe that everything is always working out for us. So we are now live from my phone and hoping that we don't have any glitches, because last week we heard there were some sound problems.
Yeah, I still blame Verizon. So
we're blaming Verizon for everything. Rightfully so.
Yep.
We were actually, my daughter and I were talking about that in Paris because she knew about the Verizon debacle. So here, squeeze in a little more so everyone can see you. Okay, so we're like really close because we're on my phone. But anyway, this is our third week in a row. We are consistent. Okay. Emily, if you missed her before, Emily is my obviously friend in real life since she's like at my house and we're like this close to each other. Friend in real life, Emily, I can't talk today. Emily is an RN. So the two of us together share this passion, like crazy passion for health and wellness. That's kind of how we got to know each other in the first place, running out into each other on walks. And we have so many things in common. And then we have some different skill sets. And Emily's an RN and I'm very educated as a health coach, and with the coaching and all that side, Emily has a medical background that I don't have. So together, it's like a superpower.
Yeah,
it's together. So we're going to recap a little bit because last week apparently the sound was out. So I'm going to have Emily, I think so many of you know my health story already. And you know that I've been showing up here online for 10 years, talking about consistency, talking about the importance of mindset, nutrition, and fitness. That's what Happy, Healthy, and Hot is, all working together. And Emily is one of my Happy, Healthy, and Hot friends, who practices these things, but she's also taken a slightly different approach than I have.
Yeah.
So I want you to share your story again.
Okay. All right.
As a badass athlete to some of the hurdles that you've overcome that I feel like some of my audience, based on questions that I get about patterns that they keep repeating, stuff like that I think they're going to really relate to your story. And we kind of dive into some stuff that I haven't talked about, but now I have Emily, so we can pick her brain.
Yeah.
So share.
All right, I will share. So, oh my gosh, my story is complex, so we'll keep it as linear and simple as possible. But I was an athlete my entire life, could eat whatever I wanted because I was constantly training and working out. And then as I got older, went to college, obviously started drinking, started partying, was continuing to eat that same way, but was not really training the way I was. And so that's when the roller coaster of weight gain started for me, gain and loss.
And I just want to say, I've seen that for so many people in college because it's also the structure is different.
Oh my gosh, totally. And you're out of your element, but it's also this sense of freedom where you can go have drinks after class and you can go, you order the pizza and you sit around and get the fried food and all the things, right? It's kind of what everyone's doing. And it's almost that's the time in the life too, where your metabolism starts to shift and your habits change and there's maybe less structure even than your high school years. So I would just, we'll keep it short. I went through this long period of time where it was train, do all the things, even up to doing 75 hard, cutting out all of the foods, all of the unhealthy foods, all of the bad habits, kicking everything, super disciplined, beating myself over the head with counting macros and weighing my food. And I got amazing results. I mean, I looked phenomenal. I felt phenomenal, but I could not sustain it. And the second that I wanted a sweet treat or whatever, it was just this spiral.
Right, and see, that's, okay, and that's why I needed Emily on here, because that's what I hear from, I feel especially women, it's we're so good, and it's as good or bad. We're good until we're not.
Yeah.
The program worked until it didn't.
Yeah.
And that's why I needed you to share this. So,
This is really common. It's common for women and men, but, what I've experienced is this all or nothing approach to weight loss and fitness. And I thought it was a defect for me, right? But this is actually a lot of people.
It's everybody, but we think we think we're bad.
Or that we're not good at it, or we can't find something that works for us.
Right. And that's why these women will say, no, I can't lose weight. No, you're just not
consistent.
You're not consistent.
Yeah.
You're not being consistent.
Yeah.
This stuff works when you can be consistent.
Yes. And so consistency for me and balance for me was a foreign concept until I started to learn what that really looked and felt like. And I had to like sit down with myself and admit, and I actually previously, I don't want to say I had a drinking problem. Apparently you always have a drinking problem, but I'm sober now for 2 years. And what I've noticed though is those same habits of like, well, I'll only have one beer. It was never one beer. I'll only have one scoop of ice cream. It's never one scoop of ice cream.
And with the sugar,
Yeah.
too, it is. In fact, sometimes when people stop alcohol, they go to with the sugar. It's also there's something about it, like it's like that dopamine hit,
very chemically addictive.
It's very yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and so people struggle, you know, and I can only speak for myself, but I know and I've seen like as a nurse and now with what I do through telehealth, there are so many people like me that do this roller coaster ride of just not being able to stay consistent with, you know, prioritizing the protein, the hydration, moving your body, all these foundational elements that you and I agree on.
Right, and it's the stuff that like I've been talking about to you guys for 10 years, but then I get people saying like, I get it, I understand what I'm supposed to do, but I can't stick with it long enough. Right. And that was another reason why I really wanted to bring Emily on, and I think by the end, I want to like really talk about what you do with the telehealth.
Yeah, sure.
And share, because there might be somebody watching, if you're watching right now, and you're like, this is resonating. Oh my gosh.
Coaster.
Right. Like
the weight gain and loss. The weight gain and loss roller coaster. That's what it is.
Yes.
That is what I help now with.
Yes. And so if that's
resonating,
I need you to watch all of this, or if you don't have time, I need you to shoot me a message and I can answer your questions and get you in touch with Emily, because we want to get you off of the roller coaster, so you can feel amazing, so you can wake up with your post-Paris abs like I did today, be like, look at me, but you deserve to feel that good. Like that's what you deserve.
Yeah, you do. And so what I discovered is that I needed something that was going to kind of help take the edge off. It wasn't for me about just discipline anymore and consistency, but it's about what tools can I utilize to support my healthy habits consistently and my food choices consistently, so that it's not like beating my head into the ground every time I'm going to make a food choice or every time that I want to get up and move my body, and being able to enjoy a treat here and there without it turning into this like spiral of eating like shit for the rest of the weekend, you know, like I just needed help. And I think that for a while with, and this is going to lead into what I do now, is I actually offer peptides through telehealth through a doctor-physician network, individually for people that are on this roller coaster of the gain loss, of struggling with consistency. And as a nurse and as a former athlete, former military, like I was like, discipline, you know, that's all it takes. And like, actually that's not true. So there are a lot of people that need added support when it comes to these things. And this is in addition to making the effort. So like, if you're someone you're doing all the things and you're just not seeing what you want to see, or you're doing all of the things, but you feel like your consistency isn't enough and that your body's like working against you. We also take a look at like hormone health, thyroid function, all of these things that happen as we age. Like our body does not respond the way that it did when we were 20.
Well, and right, and I'm glad you touched that, because the other thing they hear from women is like the stuff that I did like in the past at work doesn't work anymore.
Yes.
Well, there's science behind that. Like as we get older, our bodies need more protein from real food to activate muscle protein synthesis. Like that is science. When we're younger, our hormones do some of that, like quote unquote heavy lifting to help us build muscle. Like, so it's like we can eat it's kind of like, doesn't matter what we're eating. It's easier to put a muscle. Yeah. As we get older, we actually need that to come from our nutrition. Hey, Ashley. So that's where it's like it does change.
Yeah, it does.
As we get old, get older, that there's like sometimes some little tweaks that we need to make.
Absolutely. And so we talk about, you know, we always focus on like my metabolism. I need to speed up my metabolism, but really what that is, what we're looking at is metabolic function, the way that your body is utilizing energy at a cellular level to function properly. And so I'm going to dive right into this. This is where peptides come into the picture. I'm sure you guys have heard the word peptide. it is like a buzzword right now that you think is like trending, but peptides have been around for over 100 years. It's just the science wasn't fully there to go, hey, this is actually something that our body recognizes and utilizes to help our metabolic function actually be more efficient. Peptides signal to us, they tell our body to go, hey, do that job, but do it a little bit better. So when we then make the healthy choices and stick to the foundational efforts that we're doing, we're actually going to kind of see those results without like beating our head against the wall, which is like so refreshing for someone like me who was on that roller coaster, doing all the things, not doing the things, trying to create consistency and balance without it just being such a freaking struggle. I didn't want my life to be consumed by food anymore. I didn't want to have to weigh my chicken. I didn't want to have to like I felt like I was just a slave to like all these efforts to try and get a little bit of a result. And that's so frustrating. And I know that I'm not the only one that was dealing with that. So I don't want to misspeak. And I actually, on my social media, which I'm sure you'll link to my Instagram, I want to share with you guys a little bit of just facts about peptides, because there's a lot of stuff out there, and I just want you to hear what I have to say.
Well, and this goes right along too with Leah. I always say like, there's no magic shake, pill, powder, shot, anything that is going to change your life. You're going to change your life.
Correct.
Absolutely, 100%. We both agree on that.
Correct.
But if you're looking at, so this is only going to help you if you are also making the lifestyle changes.
Yes.
There's nothing
you're going to use and sit on the couch and eat bonbons
and see results.
It's just not. And if you do see results, good for you, but it's not going to be long term and it's not going to be healthy. You're going to lose muscle. It's not good. So I want to talk a little bit about what peptides are and how I've been using them in a healthy fashion to support longevity, because that is important. So we're going to talk about what peptides are, like GLP-1, how long we've been studying and using them, how do they actually work in our body to support us, and what are the benefits? So, and I'm reading from here because I want to make sure that I transpose. This is something I created, okay? I want to share it with you.
Her own work.
This is my own work. I want to share it with you accurately, though, because I get excited and I go off on tangents. So,
I don't know what that's like.
Oh, yeah, we don't know what that's like. All right, so what are peptides? Peptides are actually just short chains of amino acids. And if you guys don't know what amino acids are, they're actually the building blocks of protein, which I love. So, they are the same blocks that make up protein. They occur naturally in the human body and act as signaling molecules that help regulate many biological processes, including metabolism, immune function, tissue repair, hormone activity, and cellular communication. Many familiar compounds in medicine and biology are actually peptides, such as insulin. Insulin's the first peptide ever created. Nobody questions insulin.
Right.
Our body needs it.
Right, exactly.
Our body knows what to do with it. Oxytocin, GLP, which is glucagon-like peptide, and growth hormone releasing peptides. So my next slide says, aren't peptides new? Actually, they're really old. And Tyson, I don't know if you guys can see Tyson.
Yeah,
he's like trying to get in on this.
He's like, tell me more.
He woke up out of a dead sleep snoring to get involved. So scientific research on peptides actually began over 100 years ago. Modern peptide pharmacology has expanded significantly over the last 40 years. GLP-1 medications were first investigated in the 1980s. Yeah. This is not new, okay? They've been approved for medical use since the beginning 2000s, and with extensive long-term clinical trials supporting safety and effectiveness. Today, peptides are one of the fastest growing areas of biomedical research, with ongoing clinical studies in metabolism, aging, recovery, immune modulation, and regenerative medicine, which is super exciting.
Yes.
So how do they work? Because this is really important. Like, when we put this in our body, what is it doing and how does it work? Because peptides are structurally similar to the signaling molecules that are already present within our body, they are recognized by the receptors in our cells as naturally occurring. So it's encouraging our body to do what it already knows how to do. It's just a little bit more efficiently. So it allows the body within the receptors to activate, modulate, or support normal physiological pathways rather than forcing the body into an artificial response. That is so powerful. If you understand science, that is very powerful. This is not a drug that you are taking and it's shifting your body to do something it's not made to do. Yeah. This is your body taking something it already recognizes and it goes, hey, I know what to do with that, and I'm just going to function a little bit more optimally.
Right.
So in many cases, peptides are actually designed to mimic natural hormones or messengers, enhance existing signaling pathways, gently correct dysregulated processes. You've heard of metabolic dysfunction, where people that if you're stuck and you're doing all the right things, you probably have some metabolic dysfunction, which then you're trying to push the gas on a pedal that just won't go.
Yeah.
And support repair and cellular balance. So essentially, GLP-1 peptides like semaglutide or tirzepatide are actually encouraging your body to do what it's already designed to do. That's such an important piece of information.
It's so crazy, but again, it's also when the dosage is correct.
Yes, and we're going to get into that. Yeah. Yes. So, and this is where I'm going to ditch this and just like speak from the heart. So, as a registered nurse a year ago, my friend Krista said a D1 hater, like a division 1 hater on peptides. I was a D1 hater. I saw people getting on GLPs like Ozempic, Zepbound, semaglutide. You know, I'm rattling off, you know, generics and like formal names. I was watching them rely on medication, sit around, not prioritize protein, not exercise,
and I've seen the same
not drink
thing
their water
with people that I know, and
they're just becoming shells of themselves, and it is not healthy. I'm telling you, I offer these things, but doing it that way is not healthy.
Well, and I've also seen then the reverse of the rapid weight gain when they go off.
Yes.
So,
again, a problem.
Huge.
So because I function from a place of wellness and longevity, we need to optimize muscle retention, lean muscle build, capitalizing on the foundational things of, you know, doing all the right things, the protein, the working out, the water, the sleep.
Well, I mean, and you know, the muscle is like, I'm always saying it's about so much more than the aesthetics, although I love the aesthetics of having some muscle, but it's really, there's so much more science now showing us how important it is to aging well.
Yes, longevity.
Like, it is longevity, like muscle is key to longevity.
Yes. And so I was seeing all of these people, and I don't want to say misusing because a lot of them are guided by physicians, but rapidly losing weight, but not doing it in what I would consider a healthy manner. They're just like barely eating. They're not working out. They're not getting their nutritional needs are not being met.
They're actually starving, and it's not a matter.
No.
It's not about the calories. This is where like, the thing that makes me crazy, yes, calories do matter, and you do need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, to burn fat. But it's also, what is the food quality?
Yes.
And what I saw with the people, you know, using the GLP-1s in a way that was not healthy and sustainable is the food quality was pure crap.
Or they're just not, so they're not eating enough.
And
or when they are eating, it's
eating,
still junk.
It's junk.
Yes.
So it's like you just had a little bit of junk. Your body actually had zero nutrition.
Right.
Zero nutrition.
Right. And so the goal, and so that's where I want to talk about what's different. So I was a hater on it for those reasons. I was watching people lose all this weight, not in a healthy fashion. And I'm thinking, like, what is this going to look like long term for them? They're going to be on this medication the rest of their life, or else they're going to gain it back. And they haven't implemented the proper foundation to keep the weight off when they do come off the medicine, if they ever do. So I wanted to know, is there a way to use peptides in a safe and effective manner that is built upon the foundation of doing the healthy things? And the answer is yes. So I came across this next buzzword called microdose, and I went, you know what? This makes sense to me. It's taking a GLP-1, utilizing it at the very lowest dose. So when you think of a staircase, GLPs are typically prescribed in different tiers. You start on the first step of the staircase, and after month 2, month 3, month 4, you kind of go up the staircase and you require more medicine to continue to see the results you want to see. We know where that leads. That leads to drastic weight loss pretty rapidly, and typically not sustainable for coming off of the medication. What I have found, and Tyson's snoring. What I have found is a microdose approach of when you step onto the staircase on that bottom stair and you stay there. You stay at the lowest dose. You use the peptide for what it's designed to do. It helps with food noise. So I'm able to kind of walk past a table of treats and go, I'm good. I don't really need it. That for me was non-existent before.
And that food noise is huge, huge. And then also when we're not getting the sleep, when the other things are off, the food noise gets louder.
You're right. And so being able to kind of avoid the food noise, I was able to feel full faster, even just on that first step, that microdose step, where I can prioritize my protein and veggies, but I'm eating like a normal amount of food. Because you can sit here and say, prioritize protein. But if you're over consuming, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see what you want to see. So for me, being on that first step, I was able to avoid the sweets, not really be interested in the fried foods, or if I did, I could have one cookie, and one cookie was enough, right? And it wasn't like torture, or I didn't go screw it and I fall off the wagon. Portion control. I also found for me at the microdose, my systemic inflammation is completely gone. We cannot make medical claims. I can share what I'm seeing as a nurse with my clients and myself. I actually have fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed. I have PTSD from my time in the service. And it, as we know, things like PTSD manifest in the tissues in the body.
Always.
And all that autoimmune that comes from there.
And you don't have to have been in the service to have PTSD.
No.
And I just know so many women, I'm sure men too, but I'm speaking more to women who are under like this chronic stress from,
whatever.
Like it can be work situations. It can be dealing, caregiving situations. It can be dealing with elderly parents. It can be some of us are parenting our children and our parents at the same time. Like there's so much going on in our lives that can lead to PTSD.
Oh yeah. And it's really, PTSD aside, the issue in general in our society is chronic inflammation. We are chronically inflamed based off of our food, our environment, the way we live our life here in this country. And we know, and the science shows that inflammation is the root of all disease process, all disease process. So the amazing thing is the GLP-1 at a microdose actually targets systemic inflammation. And for me, I witnessed, and I am a witness to it firsthand, like my joint pain and ache and fatigue is completely gone, like completely gone. So for me, if anything, the microdose right there solved something that I've been like suffering from for a while.
Okay, and that's another thing that I hear from women about the joint pain and the waking up and like feeling like you were hit by a truck in your sleep and you're like, I slept, like, why do I feel so crappy? And then when you feel like that getting out of bed, well, you sure as hell don't feel like going for a walk or working out.
No.
So waking up to not feel that is huge.
It's huge. And the nice thing is we pair our microdose with a form of B12 that is highly absorbable, which also aids in sleep pattern. So we're over here less inflamed. We're sleeping like angels. We're not tempted by the food noise. And then you have like the natural consequence of dropping 10 to 15 pounds.
And then the B12 also gives you like a natural energy.
It does.
boost.
It does. A lot of mental clarity. It's, for me, been life-changing. So if you're like me and you've been on that roller coaster, you're doing all the things, you're not seeing the results you want to see, the first step of the staircase on microdose for me has been like the missing link. And I'm passionate about it because I now know how peptides work within the body. I now know the benefits. I know the long-term studies that are coming out. There's actually neuroprotective benefits against Alzheimer's and dementia. There's protective benefits coming out showing decreased risk of cancers because we're lessening inflammation. Like there are so many positives to the microdose. I just encourage anyone that if you're on that hamster wheel, like let's connect. I would love to just share it.
Yeah, and absolutely. So anybody, first of all, I'm going to drop Emily's Instagram in the comments because she's got some great, her own before and after
Look at my
pictures.
story. Yeah, like if you guys go to my page. I want you to, yes, you'll see the pictures and visuals are everything, right? But I want you to read my story. I shortened it because you can only make a caption so long. But I want you guys to see like what my life looked like before I was able to kind of understand and be able to like actually practice balance utilizing this tool for my body.
So that's why I wanted to bring Emily on. And if you are watching this now, or maybe you just hopped on for a second and you've got to go, please don't hesitate to just reach out, like shoot me a message. Some people also don't want to leave a comment, or like I'm a little,
I want to offer free consults.
So absolutely.
I would love to offer a free consult to you. If you're someone that's even curious about this, there's no obligation. I'm going to offer it free. Connect with me through the DM or through Elizabeth.
Just reach out. I'll put you in touch.
I want to hear your story and what that looks like for you and see if this would be a good fit. I have a little like checklist quiz we kind of go through and just see if this is even something that would be appropriate.
I love a checklist quiz.
I love a quiz.
I love a good quiz. So we don't want to keep this too long.
Yes.
We will be back. I do feel the sound quality was better.
I hope so. No one's complaining.
So we will be live again next week. Same time, same place. Same coffee.
Same Tyson Starbucks snoring in the corner.
Tyson snoring. But we want to keep this discussion going.
Yes.
I've been showing up here for 10 years. Like, you guys know me, and you know that what I believe in. Emily believes in the same things. We're in this together, and if you are like, feel like there's something missing, I don't have the medical background Emily does. She is a registered nurse, and then she is working with MDs through telehealth. Yep. So it's like, I feel confident saying, here's what I don't know.
Right.
Here's where my medically trained friend can help you.
Yeah.
I've got the health coaching. I've got the education, the experience. I've helped hundreds of men and women change their lives. And with Emily,
it's going to be
we
more.
can help even more.
Yeah.
So that's why we are in this together, and just really excited to share. And I want to share here, just come live, real time on Facebook with a friend in real life. Yeah. And just share what's possible, because Emily's just such a great
we're extending the reach to you. You know, she brought me in as kind of just an additional tool for you to guys help you continue to stay happy, healthy, and hot.
That's what it's all about. So we're gonna finish up. I'm gonna drop Emily's IG in the captions. Reach out, message me if you want to talk to Emily. Quick, free consult, zero obligation. She's your girl, because again, she's not gonna steer you. I trust her. Okay, you guys know, those of you who have been with me, some of you have been here for 10 years. You know that I only share, I've talked about the same collagen for, 8 years, because I really love it and I trust it. And so, that's the way I am. I only share stuff that I really believe in. I've known Emily for a long time. Yeah. And so, I've seen her story firsthand. So that's what makes it's really different when you know somebody in real life and you've seen it for real, than seeing some glossy before and after pictures that are possibly Photoshopped. Or many times Photoshopped.
I was going to say AI. You just
AI.
never know
we don't
anymore.
even know if people are real. We're real. She's here in my dining room and my dog is snoring. Our Starbucks is cold. It doesn't get any more real than that. So we'll see you next week.
Yes.
But please reach out to either of us with questions, and we're just happy to keep the conversation going.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.